Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Long time no see, long time no talk. Welcome back
Yeah, it's
to
been a while, you crocodiles.
it's been ages, I feel like. But so here we are, Jack Reinhardt featuring Papo91 as per usual. And we just wanted to have a hangout a little bit since we've both been relatively busy lately and not so much uh, available for streamage, but we just wanted to have a quick little thing. So, we're going through my library of games, and here we are, Portal. Which,
Because why not, right?
because why not? Because there's some other games that me and Papa want to try out together, but today is not the
Hmm.
optimal day for that. So we just decided let's just go for something that we're relatively familiar with. I mean, I played through this game once in my life. I actually remember the second Portal much better than this one. So it's probably still going to be relatively all new puzzles to some degree, I guess. And for whoever doesn't know, Portal is pretty much a puzzle platforming game, puzzle shooter, platformer 3D game that has a very, very annoying antagonist, and that's pretty much it. You're a human going through being subjected to random tests, and you have to like escape and find the cake because supposedly there's cake, but the cake is a lie, or so they say.
It is a lie. It
The
is a
cake is a
lie.
lie. So
And so are the boxes too.
and so are the what?
The boxes.
Oh, and so are the box. Absolute, absolute. You are right. And yeah, I have no idea how the levels are. I'm gonna guess they're okay because I haven't switched anything since last time. So yeah, can you speak a bit, Alfonso?
Yeah, I'm gonna speak a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be speaking mostly with this tone unless I get very excited. But otherwise, it's gonna be pretty excited the whole time.
Okay, that's. I think we're good. I might bring you up a tiny, tiny little bit, but I think we're good.
Hmm.
So here we
So
go. Yeah, what? Tell me.
today is the very sad day in the history of our country, where the greatest poet of all time passed away. Very
Yes.
sad day.
It's a very sad day unless you live here, in which case it's a very great day because nobody's working. It's a day off for everybody.
Day
But
off, 10th of June. It's awesome, man.
yeah, and it's super
Oh, wait a
hot
minute.
as well, so yeah, tell me.
So, wait, in Lisbon now, it's a super long weekend because if Friday is the 10th and
Uh,
Monday is 13th, Sant Antonio, that means
yeah.
they get 4 days in a row
Well, they
without
might
work. In
not,
Lisbon, it's holiday.
but they might not get Friday off.
Monday. What?
Well, that's
But today is
not.
Friday,
Today
right?
is no. Today's Thursday.
No, don't tell me that, dude. Today is Friday. It's Friday. Stop freaking me out, man. I have a job. You can't tell me all of a sudden it's Thursday.
Oh
It's
man,
Friday.
I love it.
Oh, dude, you scared me for a second, man.
You were
I
like,
was
wait,
like,
what's
what?
happening? It's impossible. No, but yeah,
It's
it's
Friday.
Friday. It's Friday, dude. Take it easy. We're good. We're chilling.
Ah,
All right.
Lord.
Let's just start a new game.
Let's start a new game.
Start. Why
Portal.
doesn't it let me just? Oh my God! You see the mouse moving on the screen? That's
Nope.
okay, because that's my right stick. Actually, it's moving the mouse for some reason. Don't know why.
Oh. Oh, it's one of those. So basically it's not fully made for the controller,
Of
but
course, it's
it's like,
not.
yeah, okay.
But wait, there
That's
we
it.
we're having an issue to begin with, which is why is this not inverted?
Fuck off. It's not an issue.
It's a massive issue.
It's
Why
a
is this not
person. It's
inverted?
a person, not an airplane, okay?
Listen, listen, listen. We're not gonna
We're having this
have
conversation
we're
for
not
like
gonna have
15
this
years now.
conversation over and over again because there's no point. How do I reverse gamepad?
Uh,
Enable the gamepad. Reverse gamepad up and down. Yeah, reverse it. So
yes.
why aren't you
Okay.
reversed? Why isn't it reversed? What the fuck?
Why don't you reverse it yourself?
Listen, I
Because
can't
you're,
play like this. Aponso, I can't play like this. It's impossible for me. I can't.
Okay. Can you try like reassigning the controls of looking up and down?
What do you mean?
Like, are you using? Did the game like detect a controller, or did you basically reassign all the buttons and the mouse and stuff?
No, it detected a controller, but oh, reverse mouse. I'll just reverse mouse. It should be fine if I do that.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you should do. Yeah.
No, it's still not doing it. God.
After you reverse the mouse,
God
did you
dang
reverse
it.
both? So only one of them should be reversed. If you reverse both, then it's back to normal, right?
What? That makes absolutely
So
no
don't-
fucking sense. What?
Don't invert the XY axis, invert only the mouse.
But that's what I did right now, and it's not. I can't. What's up with you people and your non-inverted games? Like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? It's fucking terrible. Jesus. Okay, let me just read. Run reads mouse moving directly from the device by passing control. Okay, yeah, maybe I should put that. Reverse mouse. Okay. I'm trying to reverse my whole existence at this point. Jesus. Oh, fuck it. Whatever. Okay, this is gonna take forever.
Try.
I have to.
This is an actual challenge. This is good.
And why is this not starting from the beginning? Or is it starting from the beginning? I don't even know.
Yeah, it is the beginning.
It is?
You're in that little studio. I think so. Yeah.
Oh, but there's no intro?
I mean,
Oh,
I played
here we
this.
go. Here we go. This is the intro.
I played this like over 10 years ago. So.
Oh my god, this is so frustrating to play this non-reverse. Ah! This is so
Good.
fucking weird.
Don't worry, you're just gonna play it for about an hour, so the puzzles won't be too difficult.
Hang on, I have to try one more time because this is so not okay. Like, ah, Jesus. So enable gamepad, reverse gamepad, up down axis. Okay, apply. Okay. No, don't save the fucking game, you idiot. No, don't save the game. Resume the game. Oh, fuck it. Okay. It'll have to be.
Before we start, however, keep in mind that although fun and learning are the primary goals of all enrichment center activities, serious injuries may occur. For your own safety and the safety of others, please refrain from... The portal will open in 3, 2...
Alright. Oh, that's moi. Whee. Alright.
That is toi.
That is moi. How do I run in this bitch? I can't run? I don't remember.
I think you just walk, there's no sprinting, I believe. This was before games had sprint.
Makes sense.
You might have like the regular walking speed, and then if you press shift, you might walk slower.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna try one last time. I'm sorry. This is really messing with me. Like,
I must say though that with all the games you could have inverted view or not, this one is kind of okay for the first few minutes. Like it's not going to be reflex based, you know, or speed based or anything like that. I think you'll be fine.
Okay, fine. I guess we can't do it. But the mouse is inverted. It's so frustrating.
But the mouse is inverted. Wow.
Right? I'm like, why?
Can you play Do you have a wireless mouse? Because you can play with the controller on your left hand and the mouse on your right hand, and just like use the stick to move forward and do everything else with the mouse.
That's fucking weird.
Ah, whatever works, man. I mean, I told you I knew a guy who broke his arm and was playing Doom with a racing controller, and used the pedals to move forward and back. You know?
Okay, yeah, I also had a colleague at CEX that only had one arm and played racing games, but I mean, dude, I'm not gonna get used to it in 5 minutes.
No,
Holy
but
shit.
it will be fun to watch.
You're a funny dude, aren't
You'll
you?
be you'll be fine. You'll get used to it pretty quick. It's like I said, it's not reflex based, so
I mean,
I'm thinking to myself,
sorta.
if it was inverted for me, for this game, I would allow it. You know?
Alright, fine. So I need to
But
get the
not for a
cube.
hacker.
Where the fuck's the cube? Would you open?
Find your way.
Thank you. Give me the cube. Give me. Oh, this is gonna be. This is gonna be. It's gonna be impossible.
Side to side. Just tap it in.
Don't just.
Side to side.
Don't you Adam Sandler me, bruv. It's not the moment.
Tap it in.
Okay.
Please move
Alright.
quickly to the chamber lock.
Yeah, thank God. Jesus.
Prolonged exposure to the button are not part of this test.
Why, GLaDOS? It's you messing with me. I know it. I know it's you. Not allowing me to do shit. Alright. So, tell me about your life, Afonso. What's happening?
Ooh, many things happened. Today I spent a buttload of money that I,
Very well.
knowing I don't have much to spare for the rest of the month.
Is not part of any test protocol, but is an
Uh-huh.
unintended
Go on.
side effect of
I
the
paid my internet bill
material in
so that I can stream to you guys.
which may, in semi-rare
And
cases,
I
be
also
fillings, crowns,
bought a new
teeth,
controller,
and teeth.
which
Uh-huh.
feels amazing. The
Very
Xbox
nice.
controller, the new one, yeah. It looks cool. It feels really cool. As I was telling to you earlier, I've worn down my actual controller, the one I use most of the time. I've worn it down so much that the rubber on the joysticks is gone. It's just metal, and I've developed some callus on my thumb from that.
To be fair, that's happened to, like,
how
2
much-
of my controllers as well, so I feel you.
Yeah. But the reason why I bought a new one is because the audio, the mini jack to get in, right, was already very sensitive,
Uh-huh.
and a pain in the ass for other people to hear when I'm playing Xbox, when I plug it in. And also the right button did not always respond. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Gotcha.
But no drift, right? And I beat the shit out of that controller for 5 years. Like, I've never abused a controller so much, and it's still going strong. So I'm just gonna use it for the phone or the tablet.
That's
I have it
fair.
in my
Smart.
backpack, because I use it for SNES games, right? So I only use a D-pad. I don't need the joystick anymore. So
Yeah, of course. Gotcha.
I do have an original Xbox One controller from the black the black Xbox One that came out, the first gen. Not first gen. I mean the first serial, the big ass Xbox One from 2014, right?
Sure.
But those controllers don't have the mini jack hole, the mini jack female, so I
Right.
can't use it for streaming.
Gotcha.
Now I got 3 controllers, and I can't use it to connect to the computer without an Xbox cable or an actual cable. So that's why I need a new controller, you know. And I'm glad I got it. I'm gonna try it out later, I guess. Yes, we will see how it goes. So that's what I did today after a long week of teaching and everything. Yeah. But I had a good time teaching. Today, of all things, right? So in the morning, students were donating blood. So there was class, but a lot of them were absent, so only a few of them showed up.
Okay.
And one of them has a project. So there's a STEM class in high school, meaning that they have to actually do some research work, because he's in the physics and chemistry and math group to learn stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he chose as a project, he's going to code a video game.
Ooh,
And I
fancy.
know, it's amazing. Basically, he said, "Oh, teacher, can you come here and give me some advice on dialogue?" He was writing dialogue for it. And I said, "What is this?" He said, "Oh, it's for a video game." And I was like, "Oh, dude, say no more, say no more."
Say no more, I'm with you.
We basically broke down the story. It's going to be a text-based puzzle game, right?
Ooh,
With-
that's fancy.
And yeah, with just like maybe 4 levels. It's supposed to be about a 20-minute, half-hour experience, he said.
Okay.
Where there's the player and the game entity called the friend. DA friend, right? The friend.
The friend. Okay.
The friend. And the friend, basically he wanted to have like dialogue, and I was like, wait, we gotta break this down before you write the dialogue. What's the personality of the player? What's the personality of the friend, right? Is the friend the game? A little bit like in There Is No Game, remember?
Oh yeah,
Go check
100%.
out Jack and Pap on YouTube if you wanna
Yeah,
see what I'm talking about.
it's one of our
sure.
great streams. Fucking fantastic.
I know, few views, but great streams. I had so much fun doing that with you.
Ah, so good.
But so I was asking him like, how is this going to be? And he's like, no, the friend knows it's in a game. And I'm like, okay. The thing is that he wants you to go through a series of challenges, and then the friend will backstab the player in the end
Sure.
and keep you either like trapped in the game or whatever. Like that's the reveal, you know. But he poses as a friend at first. And I said, okay, but what about the player? What is it? Like, what's the character? What's the background? What are all these things that the creator knows and the characters know about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but the players don't know? They will like reflect in the behavior and the dialogue, right?
Right. Okay.
Is the friend, so we're trying to break down the characters and how they feel, how they are. And I asked him, is this game going to be choice-based or is it on rails? And he said, well, it feels like you're choosing, but it's going to be on rails. Illusion of choice. I asked him like Skyrim, and he said, yes, kind of like Skyrim. Bar. Skyrim, if you choose the Stormcloaks or the Imperials. Yeah, I know. But for the most part, most dialogue options don't have a direct impact in the game. It's not The
Right.
Witcher, it's not Cyberpunk, you know? It's
Right,
not that
right,
type
right.
of... yeah. So he said, nah, it's on rails. It's supposed to be a one-time experience to get the illusions. Like, okay, cool. And what about the character? He said, well, I want the player to be a girl. Okay, so cool. So the player is not the human who's playing. The human who is playing as someone else. And he said, yes, correct. It's like, awesome. What does the player want to do? What's the motivation? And what is the goal, right? What's
Sure.
the fuel of the player to the challenge, and what is the actual goal? He said, well, the goal is to escape, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why the player is doing it is because her friends are also trapped. And she wants to find a way to, release her friends as well. It's like, okay, so the player is motivated by either altruism or survival. And he goes, both. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
The friend knows that? And he says, yes, the friend knows that. I said, okay, what about the friend? Is the friend part of the code of the game? He said, yes, okay, but there's dialogue, there's text, so I'm assuming they're talking to each other. What about the voice? And he said, oh, I didn't think about that. But there's not going to be any voice in the game. I said, yeah, I know you know that, and the people who are playing know that,
Mm-hmm.
but in your mind, when these people talk to each other, what is it? It's like, it's a voice of a man, but I want my character to be LGBTQ+, you know?
Okay.
Which I thought was really cool. Because I said, okay, then you can even plug in a joke of, like, if the player asks the friend, what are you? What pronoun do you want? And he can say, that's the first lie the friend will say in the game, which is, I'm non-binary. Wink, wink, because it's actually computer code, so technically it is binary, even though it identifies as non-binary.
Okay, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the humor.
I told him that with this type of thing, you can basically hide lies within truth in the dialogue, especially in the beginning. And now it's up to you. Are you going to make the friend lie to the player or not? Is the friend indispensable for the player to solve the challenges? And he said, yes. I was like, okay, cool. And do you have any idea for the puzzles yet? And he's like, no, I'm not sure yet. You know, I'm still thinking about it. He's trying to do like an escape room type of situation.
Ooh. Oh,
And
there's a million. I know a lot of games that you can tell him to play to get
exactly.
inspired. There's a lot. You remember when I was telling you? Well, this is a different type of escape room games, but remember the kind of games I wanted you to play that I told you there's like 4 different types. They initially came out like on Newgrounds. Those are really good for like puzzle solving, although the concept is different. It's like don't escape, but it's kind of the same sort of puzzling things. But yeah, there's a million things. You can look at a lot of old Flash games, especially if you go to Newgrounds. You can find a lot of those. You can tell them to go on Newgrounds.
Is
Actually,
Newgrounds still active?
of
I haven't
course
been there
it's
in ages.
active, bro. If it's Newgrounds.
Ah, okay. Then I'll tell him to go there. Yeah, because he wants to write the game in English as well.
Okay.
So when I told him, like, once you have all of these things about the characters, these 2 characters set up,
Uh-huh.
then you're gonna have to see what kind of language you're going to use, how they're going to address each other.
Uh-huh. Gotcha.
And he said, okay. So then I told him we could meet later. But we had this like conversation over like what 40 minutes. But it was really cool. You know, it was a nice surprise. Like instead of just saying, "Oh, you guys are donating blood," fuck it, I'm bailing, right? I
Right.
asked him first if they need any help with anything, and this student said yes. So it was a fun conversation. I love my job, man.
I know you
Freaking
do, bro.
awesome.
I know you do.
I love my job. So great.
Very
I would
happy
do
for
it
you.
for free.
Sure you
Yeah.
would. If you didn't need to, live.
Yeah, and pay bills.
Exactly.
I have a minimum standard, but that's it pretty much. It's like, do I cover bills? Yes. I'm sure if I had like people under my responsibility in my own household, I would have even higher standards. But I mean, I'm happy with what I got right now. It's it's good going. And I'm virtually broke and still spending money on a controller. So
Well, you know
that's
how
what's
it
gonna
goes.
fuel me to do it. Yeah, but that's gonna make me just tutor more throughout the week. I mean, within 1 week, I can do enough tutoring hours, like 4 hours, and it's paid. I charge when I tutor people, I really do.
Well, you must, so.
I must. No, I used to tutor for cheap before. When I have money, I tutor for cheap. When I need money, I only tutor for people who actually can afford it. It's expensive, especially here.
I can imagine.
Very much so. Very much. I charge almost double of what the tutoring school pays me. But
Damn.
so it's a different type of clients. But look, I'm not just a dude who's a native speaker. I got degrees and experience and jobs.
Yeah, of course, I know
So
that.
my time is very valuable right now. The less free time I have, the more I charge. And that's a law of the market of my own time that I apply whenever I do work in my free time.
Yeah, it makes sense though. I mean, honestly.
For example, if I have just my job and I have plenty of free time where I don't work, I'll charge you $10 an hour for tutoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm already tutoring 4 or 5 hours a week on top of that, then and I have to like teach surfing on the weekends or some shit, plus personal training at the gym, I'm gonna charge you 25 for an hour.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Because my free time is way more precious then, so yeah, it's not everybody who can pay that much, but market, law, offer, demand, supply, demand. There is very little supply and a lot of demand. I'll take advantage of that.
Smart.
Yeah. So, I needed to get something off my chest, mate.
Tell me.
I told you already, but I'm telling the viewers. Guys, don't play XCOM 2.
Yeah.
This is I found my new crackhead video game.
I mean,
I did.
you do realize you have to be into it as well, right?
Oh, dude. How can you not be into it? It's so addictive, dude.
Again, well, it's not for everyone.
Oh, I connect it to the TV. You can play it with just a mouse, you know. So if you have a wireless mouse, you don't even have to be sitting down or anything. Just plug it on the TV and let's go. Oh, it's so good, man. So much scum saving. I'm such a dick to myself and to the game while I'm playing. It's true. I want everything to be perfect. It's like Civ, you know?
Sure.
Like before you declare war on a civilization, let's just save real quick, see what happens.
Yep.
It's kind of like
Well,
that.
scum
They
saving is
can
there
fix
to be
it.
taken advantage of, you know. It is what it is normal.
Absolutely, man. I have spent. There was one point where I spent 6.5 hours on a 30-minute mission. Like by the time I actually got it right and perfect, it took me 20 minutes, but I spent 6 hours on it. And those 6 hours don't go into how many hours you've been playing. Like Steam knows, but the game campaign doesn't.
Steam knows.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The save slot doesn't know, but Steam knows. And this is not a game that I pause and leave it there for a while and then come back 2 hours later, where the counter on Steam keeps running, but I'm not actually playing.
Sure.
So yeah, so that's been my week since the last time we've been hanging, streaming. How about you, my man? Tell us about your weekend bender.
My weekend bender.
The weekend, which started a week ago. Started on Thursday evening, right, of last week.
Well, sorta. I guess it started on Tuesday, really, if all things considered. I mean, because it was my mom's birthday, right? So I went back home to basically have a birthday dinner with her, and we got smashed because that's clearly what you do with your mother on her birthday. That's what you should do, at least, if your mother is Portuguese, generally. But so I got smashed on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I rested for a bit. Then on Thursday I had a surprise birthday party that I didn't even know I was going to go to, but I got invited at the last moment from some friends, and I started drinking on that day. Like I actually, that day was supposed to be a very productive day for me. I was organizing like stuff for music, and I was talking to people in London, talking about starting the recording of my EP, organizing the songs I have, the ones I don't have, the ones I have to finish, etc. And then I got contacted to go meet people for dinner, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'm already out, you know, fuck it, why not? But that's never a good idea when you start when you go meet someone and you're like, yeah, it's fine, we're just gonna meet up, nothing's gonna happen, it's gonna be relaxed, gonna have dinner. That doesn't really happen here. That's not how it works. So
that's because in our culture, food always comes with drinks, and drinks always comes with food.
it really does, you know. So
right?
Yeah. So basically, yeah, I went to meet up with some friends in the afternoon at the cafe, which led to some drinking, then dinner, which led to more drinking, and then the whole night I was also like, there were some people there that I didn't know that were friends of the person whose birthday it was. They were actually like they were foreigners, and they lived in Germany, but they were there spending like, I don't know, one of them was Portuguese, and she brought her friends from Germany, and they were in Portugal spending some time. Whatever, doesn't matter. But I spent most of the night arguing with one of them. Not so much arguing.
Arguing is in like having a heated and vigorous, sparkly discussion.
Yes, let's go with that. Sure. Let's go with that.
I feel like you might have crossed some boundaries you don't want to discuss.
It's
here,
not that
okay.
I didn't cross any boundaries. That's not no. Listen. You know those people that you have arguments with that basically they have a way about them that is just insanely douche. I can't really explain it, but it's people that have a certain amounts of knowledge, as in like they do research, they know their own thing, and to some degree I don't discredit them. It's fine. I know that they've done their own research, they know their own things, but it gives them terrain to like put themselves on a pedestal compared to other people, talking about shit that maybe they only know through books, and that's what all the knowledge they know comes from, you know, and
that's what they enjoy. They enjoy always being.
they enjoy
Like
always
they're a bit
being
more above
right
you
and
because they
knowing
have
above
that.
you and yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was that sort of assholishness shit. And the thing is, if you get me drunk and you get me in a room with a person like that, I mean, as a person that doesn't have extreme academic knowledge, which I don't, not necessarily, but if there's one thing that I can do, is debate you until you give up. I know how to push buttons. That I have no issue with. Always super easy, no problem. And so I spent the whole night just shooting down pretty much everything he was saying because he pissed me off. He shouldn't have pissed me off. And so that was quite the night, pretty much. And then
May I inquire as to what the actual debate was about, the content, the conversation?
oh, it went to a lot of different things. I honestly cannot say for the life of me how it started. I believe it started because of my misrepresentation of he was Irish, right? And it started because I, unwillingly basically said
Something insulting.
I said basically, yeah, as a person from the UK. And he was like, excuse me? And so, because...
Wait, are you referring to him or are you referring to yourself?
No, I'm referring to him. I said, because...
Is he from Northern Ireland?
But that's the thing, Afonso. I know that it's not... I know that only Northern Ireland really is included in the UK.
You went to push the only button that turns Irish people from the friendliest
listen, that's fair, but he was an asshole. He was an asshole to begin with. He was an asshole to begin with.
So you knew what you were doing?
No,
you were like,
not
but you're British,
at first I said that because it slipped. It really slipped.
It slipped. Okay.
And then he said,
Spain, Portugal thing.
yeah, and then he said, excuse me, what the fuck are you saying? And I literally turned to him and I said, look, I apologize, but you do know that Northern Ireland is part of the UK, right? He's like, yes, but blah, blah, blah. No, he's not. But it doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Because even people from Northern Ireland who have a British passport will tell you, yeah, my passport's British, but motherfucker. Like they will say, I'm Irish. You'll find both there.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Whereas in the Republic of Ireland, you will have people say, this is Ireland. It's also the Republic of Ireland. Don't even confuse me with British people.
Right.
But they are the British Isles.
Yeah, but
so
it's great. But that's the thing.
World.
That's the thing. And
same region. We're Iberian, right?
Yes, we're Iberian. And the thing is not just that.
Someone says I'm Hispanic. I'm like, okay, sure, Hispania, Romana.
Yeah, it's like understandable that you would say that. It's like, okay, yeah, fine. Whatever. I'm not gonna.
You didn't call him English.
Yeah, mais je vais pas péter un câble, quoi. It's fine. Like, it's not a problem. But anyway, it started there, and it was fine. It was okay. Like,
ignorant fuck. That's
how well, the thing is, he could see me however the fuck he wants. He could see me however the fuck he wants, bro. I don't give a shit. Honestly, I don't give a Oh, fuck! What am I doing? I don't give a shit.
I'm not looking at the chat, but I hope there's an Irish person watching right now.
I'm not looking at the chat either at the moment. So sorry if anybody's in the chat. Apologies.
Yeah. Apologies to I don't know who's there. I'm not looking. Sorry.
But anyway, listen, Afonso. It's not about me being right or wrong. It's not about my knowledge about the situation. Look, listen. Again, I'm an idiot in my own way, and I'm smart in my own way. Like, okay, there's different levels of things. And I made a mistake when I said that. I recognized it as soon as I said it. It wasn't even like, I don't know why he's reacting this way. It was like, oh, right, fuck. Yeah. But remember that remember that I probably already drank around a bottle of wine or more at that point. So it's like, come on.
That's a good warm-up.
Yeah. So give me a break, bro, the problem is that after that, uh, we kept talking about different things, and I could tell right away from his standpoint, the way he was so standoffish about it. You know, I was like, okay, this guy doesn't like being contradicted. This is the first thing I noticed.
He's probably like thinking, I'm gonna school you, you uneducated fool.
He can think whatever the fuck he wants. I don't give a shit, man. And then I don't know how it happened or how we got to that point, but we started swerving to a conversation that was encompassing the LGBT community. Okay, LGBTQ plus. Sorry guys, whoever's watching, I'm part of the community, and I don't even know the whole fucking letters at this point. It's too old.
They added 2 letters now. It's YA as well, I believe. Not sure.
Yeah, it's IA, right?
Non-binary folk.
Yeah, IAs and
Non-binary,
intersexuals and
non-cisgender
asexuals and LGBTQIA plus.
Something like that.
I don't.
There's a P.
There's a P as
The
well.
alphabet.
Adrienne is telling me there's a P, which is probably for pansexual. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
PN.
Oh, yeah.
Non-gender.
So pansexual and non-binary. Is that it?
No, or B. It's P.
Okay, whatever. There's letters in that shit.
Parang kung hindi ko bisexual, that as lang when the non-gender.
The non-binary. Okay, so there's letters. Okay, let's go with that. Let's not go beyond that. There's letters that tell people shit. It doesn't matter. But all I remember is that he started talking about the community with it. And look, I don't have any problem having discussions with people that are not necessarily within the community and talk about it, because everybody's got their rights.
But he was already a snubby cunt to you, so you're like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
find reasons to get offended now.
Well, oh no. Actually, before the LGBT, I remember something else that he was talking about my no. Oh, this is how it started. Now I remember. Now I remember. Now I remember what happened. Yeah.
Objection hearsay.
Hearsay. What? Excuse me. But anyway, I remember. So I was making a joke. I don't remember what the joke was. And he said that I couldn't say that because it was offensive. That's how it started.
Oh, did he like act those people who got offended on behalf of someone
Look,
else?
I don't know, but all I'm gonna say is this: we were discussing humor at some point, and he was telling me that as someone that was not within a group, I couldn't make fun of it because I don't represent that group. So I think this is how we also jumped to the LGBT community at some point.
Right. So you made a joke of that group, and he's like, dude, you can't talk like that because you're not in that group. And you're like, what the fuck do you know about my life?
Well, not necessarily what the fuck do you know about my life, but it's like, what are you even saying? What are you saying about humor? Are you saying... My defense system to that was that I told him, like, listen, we all know the Holocaust isn't funny. You never start a conversation like this, but that's how my conversation started. Okay?
Mhm.
But we all know the Holocaust isn't funny. But you can joke about it. You know? It's fine. You can joke about it if you're not necessarily aiming at particular individuals. Just because you're aiming at, you know, a specific period of time or event doesn't necessarily mean that you're bringing it up as a pejorative towards a whole race or into, you know, things like that. And I wasn't necessarily saying anything beyond that, but he said straight away, like, you can't joke about that. And I told him, well, I'm Jewish. Does that mean I can joke about it? And he said, yes. And I was like, you're an idiot.
You're not. Yeah, Your Honor. So he is now the judge supreme of jokes.
But that's my point. Oh, no. Because he said Germans aren't allowed to make fun of anything related to the Holocaust or to, you know, Judaism. They're not allowed. And I was like, excuse me? Why?
The ones who are alive today didn't do anything.
Yeah, and also, Afonso, I turned to him and I was like, so what if they're German Jews? So, explain to me. He was like,
Exactly.
well, they're still German. I'm like, you see, this is the kind of, But this is the kind of arguing that I had to deal with at some point.
Okay, I see. It's a person who's like got some educated, they know how to speak, but they don't fucking think. I see.
Yeah, and it's like, all he said was like, it's just the way he was. All I went into full on debate mode. You know the whole thing of doing mental gymnastics and just making the other person
Mm-hmm.
like completely
Yeah.
lose foot because whatever you're saying, they're like,
Pushing
yeah,
pushing the rhetoric to a limit, even if you're wrong.
yeah. Because the
Finding a
thing
way
is,
to make what you're saying make sense.
that's what I always say. Debate's not about being right. It's about making sure the other person loses their footing and just gets upset. That's
Yeah.
how you win debates.
Uh,
So that's what I
I
did
could
with him.
defend Sharia law all day, man.
Well, there you go. The thing is, I can put
Okay.
myself on whatever side, come with analogies for other things that might not be related necessarily, and just have a conversation through that and get someone off, like get someone pissed off. That's fine. But so I spent like 4 hours that night,
Oh my god.
and the guy by the end, the guy could not stand me. Like I saw him turn away. He was like, I can't. And according to his friends, it was the first time that he really like was like, okay, done.
Look at that. He met his match.
Bruh, listen,
Met his
you
match.
don't want to mess with me if I'm drunk and you're gonna be an asshole. Like that's, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm a super like chill guy. I
You're
don't give a
happy drunk.
shit.
Not confrontational drunk.
I'm absolutely not confrontational like at all. Like I'm super chill all the time. But if
However, when you are sober, you avoid conflict. But let's just say you are anti-asshole, right? But I think with a few drinks, when you decided to contend with the asshole.
I really did. I really did. And, you know, I don't regret it in the least. But,
So tell me about what did that cunt not understand about the LGBTQ thing, Joe?
like, Afonso, I can honestly say to you that I don't remember. Like, it was a long period of time, and I was drunk. And
Right.
I just remember leaving the night super content because I fucked up some asshole's day. And that was a happy thing for me. I was like, okay, I'm glad.
Fucked himself up. Takes two to tango, bitch.
Of course. And yeah, so that was my night on Thursday. Let's just go with that.
I would love to hear. So your rant right now, I would love to hear his whatever rant he went to with his friends.
He'll probably say the same thing, but in another way. Like, you know, for sure that we have different viewpoints of what happened, so it's normal.
I wish I would have been there, but I'm glad for him that I
No,
wasn't.
yeah, I'm glad for him that you weren't either. So, because you can actually argument, because he was also like discussing a lot of things about history, and you know me, I don't necessarily know that much about history. I know basics, so
Right.
it would have been really funny, like honestly. But it doesn't matter. All this to
It's
say,
fun, man.
yeah, it was fun. But all this to say, what am I thinking? What am I thinking of? Sorry, I'm trying
Humor,
to.
being
Shit.
able to joke about someone.
It's just
You're
I'm
multitasking a lot.
I'm literally trying to focus a bit on the game right now because I've been on the same level for ages because I'm not focusing. But I haven't moved from this level in fucking forever.
We're still at the beginning, dude.
Well, I have both cannons now. I mean, not exactly at the beginning, but anyway, so let's just say my night ended there. I drank a lot that day, also because if I'm getting pushed, I end up drinking more because I'm also enjoying pushing someone else, so I drink more and whatever. So I got massively destroyed. And then the next day, our good friend Lawrence came to Coimbra because it was his birthday and I invited him over. And he came early in the morning, so I didn't really have much time to rest. And, you know, I was pretty destroyed already. So he came, and then we had lunch at my mom's place. And, you know, my mom, she's a drinker. She's a drinker too, so basically my mom starts starts getting bottles of wine. And Lawrence is drinking, my mom's drinking. I'm like taking the hair of the dog. I'm just getting like one glass or two, like just to keep me going. I'm like, I'll just do this. Then they finish like 2 bottles on their own, pretty much. And then my mom has the gall to turn to me and be like, Pedro, you already drank all the wine? I was like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? You guys drank all the wine without me. Like, Jesus. Anyway, so we were drinking. Then we went out because we were going to a concert. And there we... Oh, wait. Why did I lose my... What? Okay. Gotcha. So we went to the concert where we were drinking. And, what the... Sorry, I'm tripping with the colors of the things.
I'm loving this.
And so we went out. We met up with some of my friends before going to the concert. We had some drinks because my good friend Andre that works Mr. Pizza offered us drinks and food because he's a sweet man, and I just
That guy
thought
is the best.
he's a sweet dude. He's super super sweet.
You introduced me to that guy. I was like, this is like a genuinely. First of all, he already looks like Super Mario, but he works in a pizzeria on top of that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
pizza is absolutely delicious. That cunt would not take our money.
Nope.
What a lovely, lovely man who makes wonderful pizza, works fucking hard for his family, man.
Absolutely.
Like, I wish I was more like him.
Oh,
It's a shame.
fucking respect. Like, honestly, respect 100%. So we were there.
Gem of a person.
We were drinking, and because he always offers, I mean, I can't tell him no. So I drink as well. Then we go to the concert. We keep drinking. Then we come back home, and we keep drinking. And Lawrence got fucking smashed. Like, he got absolutely smashed. I was like just trying to. Oh fuck! I died. I was just trying to hold myself so I wouldn't, die. But I did drink quite a bit as well. Just not as much as the day before. Okay, so this is like just half a week. I'm realizing I've been talking for ages. This is barely nothing. So
It's been quite eventful.
yeah, it was pretty eventful. And so then Saturday we basically go to my friend's farm who is doing a birthday party. Fuck me this weekend, like seriously, man, kill me now. Who was doing a birthday party, and we got there, and then we were playing guitar, chilling, listening to music, talking to people, eating, drinking. So it was just a whole day like that, and then at night it was decided that we would play Ring of Fire. For whoever doesn't know, Ring of Fire is a drinking game. And
Explain the game, roughly.
roughly, it's a game where you play with all the cards in the decks except the jokers. Each card, some cards have specific rules to them, and then other cards are just straight up for drinking. But you end up pretty much getting drunk no matter what you do if you're playing that game. Like it's pretty much impossible not to get drunk.
Basically, numbered cards from 2 to 5 represent how many sips you have to drink whenever you get that card. You put the cards upside down, so flipped face down,
Yeah,
right?
in a circle.
Around the table, around the drinks, circle or the bottles, and that's the ring, right? Makes
Yep.
a ring shape, halo, circle, whatever you want to say.
Yep.
And people, one by one, take turns in picking cards from the center. 2 to 5, you have to drink those sips. All the other numbered cards, as well as the people cards, the face cards, the king, queen, and stuff, all have special rules.
Yep. Yeah. So
Tell us about the ace.
So like you said, the number cards 2 to 5 red, you order someone to drink that amount of sips. 2 to 5 black, you drink them yourselves. Then the other cards don't really matter at this point, but the ace is what we call the waterfall card. And what happens when you play the waterfall card is that whoever takes it starts drinking, and you can only stop drinking once that person stops drinking.
Yeah.
The
The
and
whole group has to keep drinking until the person puts their glass down.
yes, and me and Lawrence were both drinking wine. So yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's okay because it's sad to say, but I have quite a high tolerance to alcohol and wine in general. But my good friend Lawrence, he wasn't so lucky. And not only did we just play one Ring of Fire, we played two of them. And you know, we're not 20 anymore. You know,
Yeah.
we
I
don't
mean,
have the
I would say I'm not
capacity.
15 anymore, you know, or 18.
Alfonso, come on, don't be like that. Come on.
Yeah, meaning that's like the last. I mean, that's the age 14 to 19 that I played Ring of Fire the most. After
Yeah,
that, it's just
that you
I
played
think
it the
I've done
most, but it doesn't mean you didn't play it, right?
maybe like 4 or 5 times since then. Like I
Okay,
played Ring
sure.
of Fire 4 or 5 times over the last 10 years, for sure. Yeah. It's always fun,
Always
but
fun.
it's always like ooh, like I have to. I know myself, so I know if I'm gonna play Ring of Fire, that means there will be no driving home whatsoever.
Well, of
That
course.
means I might have to sleep over. That means I hope I don't get the fourth king. You know, although funny,
Special rule.
hilarious stuff has happened by getting the fourth king. For those who don't know, when you pull a king, that means new rule for the game, right?
No. That's the 8 card. The king means that when you get the last king, you get a special rule that only applies to you.
King. It only applies to you, and it can be a dare, or it can be something that is going to keep going for the rest of the game.
It can be anything. Oh.
Yeah, I had a dare where I had to go to the tram stop in my underwear.
Oh, nice.
In November or something, but wearing my coat too, right? So more like a, what do you call it? Someone who exposes themselves. What do you call those people?
A flasher?
Yeah, like a flasher kind of deal, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't have a trench coat. I just have my underwear and my jacket, you know.
Sure.
And I had to go like that and then approach a group of people who are waiting at a tram stop in the middle of the fucking night. And just make conversation with strangers, completely not addressing at all the fact that I am, you know, half naked from the waist down.
Very nice.
Just in my underwear, you know, in my chopstick legs. It was good. And I would hold a normal conversation. They can see that this is a normal guy, except for why are you not wearing pants, bro?
Bro, what are you doing?
And if people would ask me, I would completely ignore it. I wouldn't even address it. You know, I was just like keep talking about the weather or whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That was what I remember from the fourth king. I was so drunk.
Yeah, but that's at that point usually you're always so drunk already, bro.
Yeah.
Oh shit. An idiot.
So tell us what happened after the second Ring of Fire.
Well, I stayed up for a while still, talking to one of my friends, and Lawrence at some point just left the table. Nobody knows where. I'm assuming he went to take a piss. And then when I went back inside, he blacked out on the couch. He was just blacked out. he didn't even remember. Like he was like, I don't remember what happened, bro. I'm like, well, bro, that's what Ring of Fire does, innit? Yeah, so not too surprised, really. But yeah, that was that. And then on Sunday, we're pretty much dead the whole time.
All right.
And then I came back eventually. That was the life.
Quite an eventful few days.
Oh yeah.
From Tuesday to Sunday.
Yep.
And you told me you only kind of recovered back to being functional yesterday, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now I'm better. Wow.
No. Like, you could... Like, I remember when I got here to Porto, like, for the 2 days, I could barely talk right because I was just so... I was so out of it, man. I had to recover.
It's not even that you're drunk, it's literally the brain damage you got from alcohol.
Dude, seriously. Like, you got no idea. It was way too fucking much. It's like, no. Never again. Never again.
Yeah, we always say that when we drink too much, and then a week goes by, and you're like, just one.
Yes, but no.
It's not gonna hurt. Not gonna hurt. Just one.
Well, if you just have one, it's not gonna hurt. But can you just have one?
Yeah. One at a time.
One at a time. Love it.
Yeah, one at a time.
God damn it! Like, you know, like I'm having issues not only because I'm maintaining a conversation with you, but this is not inverted, and it still trips me the shit out.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ!
No, you managed.
Yeah, I managed, but it's just hard to aim at this point. What do I have to do here? It's a complicated bullshit. Ugh. Right, 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 right.
In
Alright.
my opinion,
Yes.
Portal
Yes.
is the first time. It's a game that you play for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm. Oops. Yes, go on.
I would put in. I think it's one of the greatest games for PC of all time.
I think it's one of the greatest
It's a
games on
game that
PC.
Yeah, I think it's one of the greatest PC games of all time.
It's pretty good.
For like as far as PC exclusives though, even though yeah, this game came out for Xbox as well, but you know what I mean. It's part of the like Valve family type of thing.
Mm.
Portal is an absolute must play, and it's so short, right? That's what makes it good too.
Oh yeah, it's really short.
Like 4 or 5 hours long, unless you're very dumb.
And that's very dumb. Honestly, the first Portal, this one, is actually harder than the second one. I think at least, from my perspective, I do think this one is harder. But they are great games, like absolutely.
Oh my god! I just put a ton of wasabi in my throat.
That's nice. I like that. That's delicious.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, that was tough. I was trying so bad to keep my shit together.
No point in doing that, bro.
Yeah.
It's okay that you
it's
can't
weird to
handle
say,
your
but it's
spice.
a simple game. It's not spice. Ça piconne.
Ça piconne, bah c'est un spice. C'est un spice qui piconne.
Mustard.
Mais c'est un spice.
Does mustard count as a spice?
But yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah? Okay. Huh?
I mean, as in terms of like, it's something that acclimates to spicy food. Culinary wise.
In culinary terms. Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, look at that. Dagon Caldrum says hello. We were just talking about you, bro. Speak
Yeah.
Spanish and he shall appear.
hello. Bonjour.
Hello.
My name is Glass Joe.
I'm the toughest French bastard that you ever gonna know.
Ah, fuck. Oh, please don't take me all the way
I
back.
think, yeah, Portal is old and it has aged wonderfully.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It has aged wonderfully. I do think, although in terms of challenge, Portal 2 in co-op is more difficult than Portal 1.
I disagree 100%.
Because you disagree?
100%
For me, Portal 1
disagree.
was not difficult to complete by myself, bar a few puzzles. But when you have to play Portal 2 with someone else and you're both a little bit out of sync, or the timing is not going well, or you're, intoxicated, which is how it happened for me.
Oh, that's...
It was...
Do you ever play this game
I
not
would say-
intoxicated? I mean...
And I played Portal 1 sober, I think. Yeah, the first time I played it, I was sober. But Portal 2, I played it over like 3 or 4 sessions where I was heavily not,
Heavily not okay?
kind of my senses.
Understood.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
I played Portal 2 recently, and you're playing Portal 1. So, if you say that Portal 2 co-op is easier than Portal 1 solo, I kind of believe you.
100% it is, bro.
Maybe if I
100%.
revisited.
I mean, this is my perspective, but I really feel like it is a lot easier. Shit. I do feel like the two-player version, like I think that the one, what the fuck happened? The one-player, the one-player campaign in Portal 2 is easier than this one. No, is
Mm.
maybe the same as this one. I don't know why. I find maybe because this game is original and it feels less. It has less, so to say. Like there's no zoom.
Less stuff. There's no zoom. There's no paint.
There's different
Wasn't the
things,
paint a
right?
part of the thing?
Yeah,
In the
it
second
is. It
game?
is.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
remember that.
So, I mean, gotcha, bitch. Finally.
Nice.
But like I did it with Lawrence during the weekend, right? We finished Portal 2, I would say in like a maximum of like 3 or 4 hours.
3 hours? Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
I find it extremely simple, aside from maybe 1 or 2 levels where maybe you get stuck for whatever reason. But generally, it's very straightforward. Might also be because I did play Portal 2 many times growing up. As in, like, I did play it with different people, the co-op. And Portal 1, I played it once. And it was already when I got this PC. It was the first time I played it, but... I don't...
Like 5 hours long.
Yeah, I don't remember this game so well. Like, I really don't. Alright, now we got the Tourette's as well and shit. Right. Separate! What's up?
Wahabu.
Why are you tripping so much with the wasabi, bro?
I thought it was a chunk of cucumber. It wasn't.
Why would you do this to yourself?
I love it. Oh my lord! I'm alive!
That's the, like, I love spicy food, but I think that's the thing that I don't necessarily like about wasabi, is that it's the kind of spicy that gets in your nose. It's not really the one that makes you sweat. It's the kind of spicy that just gets all up in there.
Straight to your brain.
Yep.
Where?
Alright, we
I'm
have
talking to a
these...
dude who enjoys brain freeze, so
I like brain freeze, that's fun.
not exactly yeah, you fucking junkie.
It's like I really like sour candy as well, because that
Ooh, it's the shit. I don't know if Lolo has said some extra stuff in the chat because my thing blocked. There's 5 people watching. Ooh la la.
Ooh, fancy. Welcome, viewers.
Hi.
Welcome.
Say hi in the chat.
I mean, are you keeping an eye on the chat, Afonso? Because I'm not, so...
I am, but then it freezes, So I'm going to turn on the Wi-Fi on the phone.
Ah! Target lost. Target lost.
Alright, we should be good now. So, sorry everybody, we haven't been keeping an eye on the chat, but if there's anybody who wants to say hello again, please do now. We will give you a shout out, along with like cyber kisses along the way.
Cyber kisses.
Like smack smack smooch smooch ooh la la.
Ooh la la.
So yeah.
Hello, bonjour. My name is Glacio. Gotcha. Ah, you little slimy son of a sack.
Son of a sack. Aren't we all sons of sacks?
Hopefully we are. Maybe not.
Hopefully. I'm a son of a vial. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Some people are test tube, baby.
Pulse.
Well, I know when we were kids, it was a new thing, and then like you would overhear it at like parents' conversations at the dinner table with their friends and stuff.
Oh,
saying, like,
bitch.
oh. It was like one of those things that was like half hush hush, part taboo, but also amazing.
What?
Yeah, they find
The
it's
whole
part
in
taboo
vitro
because
thing?
part of infertility. No, not being able to get kids, but then they managed to get one in vitro, right?
Right.
So they're happy, and they want to talk about the fact that this person got in vitro, but by saying that, you're mentioning the fact that they couldn't do it without it, and that's taboo. right? Because Portuguese is like macho
Well,
society.
especially if you're considering our country,
everything.
then yes. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Well,
feel like it
let's be
was so
fair,
much.
though.
I don't feel like it was
He
so
must
much
have
like that in
a
the northern countries for us. I don't have that idea though.
no. But if it's all with people who grew up with this mindset, they're still gonna feel it,
Oh,
even if
sure.
they still, even if they're still a bit more progressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's still that image in the past. Like I know many people who are completely okay with the whole LGBTQ thing going on around them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Go
they would
on.
feel upset, or if you ask them to vote on gay people adopting, they would vote against it because they feel it's wrong.
Ouch!
You know what I
Big
mean?
ouch, man. Jesus, really?
Yeah, no, it's dude. If you go talk to people of our parents' generations in some places, and they're being honest with you, you would be surprised. Like
Hmm.
maybe because they're ignorant of it, or they would say, "Oh, but it's weird. What if it's
They're
like your dad can
ignorant.
have
They're
a
just
daughter, or your mom can have a
ignorant.
boy?" And they don't know how to do this. I'm like, yeah, but how many straight couples don't know about this shit either?
Yeah,
It
how
has
many
nothing
straight
to do
couples
with it.
shouldn't have
Anyway,
kids in the first place? But let's not go there.
exactly, exactly. So let's not go there. But that's part of like, uh, you know, the preconceived ideas and notions of things that they don't know or don't understand completely. And it's not like there's malice behind it. It's just like
It's
if it happens
misunderstood.
around them, they don't mind. Exactly, it's misunderstood. But if you ask them to make a decision on it and they will check their own heart and their own principles, maybe they can't bring themselves to allow it. You know what I mean?
I mean, which is fine to some degree, I guess. I
Because it's
mean,
like, yeah, to some degree, like I don't approve, but I understand it.
yeah, I don't
You
approve a
know,
lot of things, but it's like,
so
you know when you have grandparents or family that's older generation than our parents, and you know that they have that instilled racism in them to some degree, right? You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
and they're nice to everyone, but
Yeah,
they still have an idea in their heart and in their mind of a certain racial hierarchy,
yeah, but they are still nice
even
to
if
people
it's
that have
on
from other
purpose.
races or people who are gay, or but they're still nice,
Mhm.
but they do have that inside them. Like you can hear it, you know it.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's just they're misinformed. That doesn't mean that they're not. They don't have the best of intentions. Just they were brought up at a
Yeah.
different time. I mean, from my perspective,
It's like
I don't
if you
judge
tell
them.
them you're dating someone or your friend's dating someone and they go like, "Oh, you didn't tell me that she's black," and you're like, "Who the fuck?" You know,
Yeah,
I don't care, but
I
it
didn't.
matters to them.
It's
Like,
like
oh,
I
you
didn't even
didn't tell
think
me
about
that
that.
she's
Is that a
black.
problem?
Yeah, and they go, "Oh no," but it's something that will get their attention, will spark a reaction out of them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I do find that interesting. And even if sometimes it's a positive thing, they will go, "Oh, well, that's very nice that you're dating someone who's, you
Yeah.
know, from a different race." And you go like, "Why? The person, like, because this, even though it's a positive thing behind it, they go like, it's nice that you're doing that, you
Yeah.
know,
Good for you.
like you're being progressive." And you're like, "I'm not being progressive. I'm being me. I'm being normal." You know?
Yeah, but you know, like, I noticed that a lot. Like, even going to Sweden, in the south of Sweden, like near Malmö and stuff. That not necessarily racism. I mean, that's still rampant everywhere. But a lot
There
of
is over.
yeah. But I noticed a lot of xenophobia. Like even towards me, it's like he's a foreigner. And dude,
Yeah.
I look Swedish enough to pass for Swedish. You know, I don't
Yeah,
even look foreign.
like you could be. You could be anywhere from Europe. Actually, we could put you anywhere. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll find someone who looks like you in almost every single European
Probably. I
country.
mean,
Maybe not Finland.
I have a generic kind of traits. It doesn't matter,
Mhm.
but like actually most people when they meet me, a lot of them actually think I'm Italian because of the nose and things like that. That's actually quite
Oh.
common. But but yeah, so I remember with like my ex, her grandparents, it was weird for them that she was dating a foreigner. And but they
What if
were
you're British? Still weird.
it's still a foreigner. You know, I guess maybe Portuguese has a bigger
A
incidence
better
because they
foreigner.
assume because
Yeah, of course.
they also because a lot of people assume Portugal Latin, which is not the case. We're not Latino. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not. We're Southern European. It's different.
You're a very hot tempered, uneducated fishermen.
I mean, they couldn't judge me on the education front, seeing that I was the most educated out of them. But I mean, sure. No.
But the preconceived thing, yeah, you're lazy, right? You're Portuguese. You must be a little bit lazy,
Sure,
right?
but I'm not lazy because I'm
Yeah, but
Portuguese. I'm lazy because I'm
you know,
lazy. It's different things. It's
exactly.
nothing to do one thing with the other.
Yeah.
Oh man. I love when people do that shit. It's like, oh, you're like this because of this. You know, you're Aquarius, so you're probably definitely free spirited. I'm like, it's not because. Let's. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not. I'm not even. You know.
Whatever makes sense to you, bro.
I do love engaging in those conversations. Like when people start talking about horoscope, then you turn to them and they're like, "Oh, he's this. That's really bad, right?" And I'm like, "No, not like Pisces. Scorpio is the worst. You know, like they're really bad." But the thing is, it's fun to discuss it like that when it's not actually a serious conversation, like extreme serial.
Yeah.
That's still fine. Like I engage in that and I find it fun. I do like to talk about it. But when people get super ethereal, then I'm like, dude, there's no
It
need
is
for
nice
his.
to take the piss.
Yeah, but don't get ethereal, please. No ethereal. What the fuck am I doing here?
I don't know, man.
Man, I don't know, man. Man, what are you
I'm
doing, man?
just watching you play, and I have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, but the
So,
thing is, because I'm not
I'm barely
entirely
paying attention.
focused. Yeah, I'm barely paying attention, bro.
I hope whoever's watching is more listening than watching, because if you're trying to, you know, this is
If you're trying to watch this for the good content, bro, switch channels right now.
yeah.
Like,
So
there's no point.
So go watch somebody else play Portal. We're just talking shit.
Absolute.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry.
Okay,
Not sorry.
so this shit, right? Okay, I got it. Okay, so if I put this, where's the orange one? Is the orange
I
one
had it on the
anywhere?
text, but I still keep not getting. Twitch mobile is having issues. Oh my
Issues?
god.
It's having issues.
Issues. It's having issues.
Delicious issues. Okay, so you go there. That's fair enough. And what are you gonna light up? You're gonna light up this thing. Okay, that's fine. I'm guessing this doesn't have to be timed, because if it does, I'm fucked. So this is this. Whoops! This goes there. Fuck, where's my cube? I need my cube. But yeah. The life.
It is good sometimes to have a foot in both worlds, depending on who you're talking to, and the person from that world not knowing that you also belong there, and they don't know. For example, I'll get to it.
Yeah,
Like,
explain, please.
when you come in as I'll give my personal thing. So if someone thinks, like, right, imagine that Irish dude that you were talking about earlier,
Go on.
tells you about how he traveled and he lived in another country, and he starts kind of explaining stuff to you about the expat community, and explains to you how expats work,
Sure.
because he thinks that even though you're a musician in Portugal, maybe he knows you lived in London or not. He thinks you were there for a short time, or immigrant or whatever. And he starts explaining stuff to you about how expat communities and diplomats around the world, and taking the example of Brussels or something like that. And he starts explaining shit to you, right? As if you don't know. And you're like,
Right.
But this dude has no idea that you grew up as an expat. And then you feel yourself in that position. You're like, dude, I'm literally just saying yes to feed your ego, and not there's people watching, right? So if I tell you, well, actually, I would know. I'm one of them, you know.
Yeah.
And
And I've been an expat all my life. Bruh.
Exactly. Or you're talking to a cinema person who is telling you about music or explaining shit to you about music, and you're like, well, actually, I am quite the musician myself. Or something like that. I
Sure.
have that sometimes when there's people I know from, let's say, sports,
Mm-hmm.
athletics,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
who brag, who brag about having a degree, or they want to separate themselves from those people by having a degree.
Okay.
And degree, I mean, like by having studied in uni. A lot of athletes
So
don't
higher
do,
education, you mean?
actually. Higher education, right? Okay, I'm okay. Sorry for saying athletes. I mean fighters. Okay,
Athletes.
it's easier that way. A lot of them don't have an education. Not all, of course not, but a lot of them don't. That's all they do. And those dudes sometimes they go, oh, but actually I went to uni. Oh wow, and they start talking to you like they assume
Mm-hmm.
that this is what I do. When I work at the gym as a personal trainer, some people think and they talk to me with an air of superiority because they think that this is my job. They think
Right.
that this is what I do. And
Okay.
they have no fucking clue. They have no fucking clue that actually, I also have an education as well.
Of course. But that's
It's not that they give you shit, but sometimes I feel like in that moment, I just let people talk.
yeah, but that's the
I
thing.
just let
Like,
them I just let them speak,
I
and I
think
just try not
it's
to
such a
engage too much.
common,
Yeah.
misinterpretation of what someone does. I mean, look, when I was working at CEX,
When you got
imagine what
both
people thought of
worlds,
me.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, or about you, or your upbringing, or this or that,
Sure.
and the thing is, to the people. Now, the funny thing that happens on the other side is that if you are around people who say are professional musicians and it's all they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you work the same bars as they do, except for them, this is their only job when they're all in. You know,
Yes.
some of them might look at you as a part-time musician because you also work somewhere else. Even though, let's be honest, most musicians who make money doing
Most
that
musicians
also
are,
have another
if
job.
you want to put it that
Like
way, are
95%.
part-time musicians. If you want to look at it that way.
Exactly. 95% also have a job somewhere else. Maybe more than 95% even, right?
Well, the thing is, a lot of them, what they do at the end of the day is the other job they will have is that they're teachers, even if it is music or not. But it's still
Right, but
not
they do have a
considered
job.
being a musician. Yeah, they'll have a job.
They still have a job. And then the people, like, in a CEX, right? When you
Mhm.
work there,
Mhm.
people will look at you as a musician, not a retail worker.
Yes. Correct.
And then sometimes it's like it doesn't matter where you are, people will treat you by what you are as in opposition to what they are. They'll pick the thing about you that's different and they will say, well, yeah, but you wouldn't get it because you are, you're only a part-time thing. Like, or they will treat you different because of that. They will think that you're more sensitive or artistic or whatever, and they stick you with a stereotype.
I'm so
You know,
sensitive
they
because
will
I do
say that you
art.
are.
Sensitive.
Um, Imagine people are talking about drugs,
Mhm.
and they
Yes.
will go, "Yeah, but Pedro knows you're a musician. You've done gigs. You're all about that life of living to the edge,
Yeah,
rock star thing
which is something that really
every
upsets
Friday
me
and Saturday."
because if
There
anybody
you
that knows
go.
me,
See that
no, no,
you
no,
did get it right.
anybody that knows me knows that I fucking hate people and I fucking hate nighttime. So that's always been a hurdle as a musician because you have to be social, you have to gig at night.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all the things I don't like, but
Hmm.
it does come with the job, so to say. If that's what you want to do actively, you do have to do that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, people always assume, musician. Well, it depends on what you do as well, but generally people assume, oh yeah, he's a musician, he's outgoing, he does drugs, he's out all night, party style. Woo!
Yeah,
That's
which is not true.
really not
You're in
like that.
CEX. You have to, after you work out all night, you have to go to bed early because you got a shift at 9 a.m. the next day, right?
Oh yeah, amongst other
It's
things, but
not
yeah,
an easy life, man. Hmm.
absolutely, yeah.
I find that interesting when that happens, when you have like a foot in more than one world.
Well, that's what you
Like-
gotta do, right? Sometimes it's just
Mhm.
you don't got an option. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
You gotta do what you gotta do. But it's funny how human beings want to put everything in boxes, right?
It's easier
Always
for
want to
their
put
minds,
everything in
bro.
one category. Yeah,
It's just
to
easier.
make sense of the world. Especially, I would say it's a very Western thing.
It
I find
is.
that especially, and by Western I mean like, especially Western
I know what
European
you
thing
mean.
to do. Put everything in boxes.
It's just
and everybody who's listening, Western European, I'm including also Canada, US, Australia in that.
sure. Because
thing.
the thing is,
The overall
categorizing
mentality.
also helps us identify with things that we might not be comfortable with. It just works for everyone. It's just that simple. You know? It's like if I can attribute you to a label or a category, like it's just that much easier for me to understand you or where you're coming from and not fear you. It's common practice. What the fuck is happening? Why am I juggling all over the place? What in the jeebus? Ahem.
But being on the negative end actually kind of sucks sometimes, you know?
How do you
Because
mean
it's
being on the
dismissive.
negative end?
Like,
Exemplify.
like for example, in terms of like dedication of what you do and the time you put in, like it's no secret I don't have a lot of free time, you know,
Yes.
because
Correct.
I am doing a lot of shit at the same time.
Correct.
So, for example, if I'm working, this happened when I was working at uni, especially, and also in the primary school. Not so much in the school where I am now, because people actually see me teach and they know how I teach, and the students are quite vocal about it. But I've had my dedication questioned, you know, and not being taken seriously because like, he's not really a teacher. He's a fighter. He's just here to make money.
Excuse me?
And I'm like, exactly.
Excuse
no, bitch, I
me?
am a teacher. This is what I do. I live for this shit. You understand?
That's fucking
I love it.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and same thing the other way around. Like, they were not here where I live, you know, but I went to Bangkok and people talk and stuff or whatever, and they find out, it's like, hey, what do you do? And I was like, well, I'm actually a teacher. That's how I make money. Why? Because I don't want to have to live like fight to fight and have my living depending on how much they're going to pay me next time. And what if I'm injured, but I still have to do something, you know, like it gives me that security. And it's nice to have a job, you know.
Of
But the
course.
thing is, I'm also training my ass off. Like I'm still doing 4 hours a day, especially if I have something coming up or if I'm helping out someone who has something coming up. And then people dismiss, but you know, he's actually a teacher. And they go like, oh, okay. It's like, no, bitch, I do this as much as you do. Difference is, I wake up at 5:30 a.m., 6:30 a.m. Sometimes I go for a run, then I shower, I go to fucking work, I get home, I get a 20-minute nap, I tutor, and then I go work out for another 4 hours. I do the same shit that you do. But instead of taking naps throughout the day and playing games or whatever, I'm actually at work. So don't question my dedication either way. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, my
Like
friend.
I could be doing all these other things, but
Ouch.
instead no. And it just it stings when people do that. It fucking sucks, man. It fucking sucks because I'd like to see, like, if there's a guy who's, you know, a pro athlete and he also has a job in downtime, even if you're like a football player, soccer, for you Americans listening.
Soccer.
There's guys that I knew who were in uni, you know, who were football players, and he trains 4 times a week, and then or 3 times a week and plays on the weekend.
Right.
When he's at the club, he's a football player. He's not a student, you know. And as a student, we didn't look at him as just a football player. The guy's doing both. He has less free time, right? And it impacts both things. If anything, that's a more dedicated person.
Sure. Absolutely.
In my opinion.
No, I got you. I feel you.
A lot of people take their own free time for granted, man. And some people say, "Oh, he's a musician. Wow, what a big deal! You go and play." No, you don't go and play. There's musicians, man, who are practicing all year long. Even if they play 2 shows a year, they're practicing throughout the day. They're working.
No. The worst thing is not that. The worst thing,
you know?
in terms of musician that way, the worst thing is people underpaying you because they're like, oh, you go out, you take your guitar out, you play for 2 hours, you're expecting to get paid more than 100
exactly. It's
euros.
fun.
I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm expecting to get paid for all the gear I get, bringing my shit here, knowing my repertoire, having practiced thousands of hours, having paid to go to college, having done all these things.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm expecting to get paid for my services. Just like you, sir, are
You're not
expecting
paying.
to get paid to suck dick. Sorry, bro, but dude, what the fuck? This is
You're not being paid for 1 hour. You're being paid for 15 years of practice, of which 5 of them are work in uni, and the whole life that comes with it. But you can do like, even if you pay an artist who's gonna draw you an NFT or a postcard or whatever the fuck you want him to draw, if it takes him half an hour and he charges you $25, you're
Yes.
like, $25, but that shit took you half an hour. Yeah, but if you try and do it, it's going to take you 4 or 5. All right. He went. There's a reason why he's got skills that the point where he can do this in half an hour. You're paying him for all the time that he's invested throughout his life. You're paying for his skills. You're not just paying for the time. You're paying for all the time that it took him to get to that skill level.
Yeah, well,
And these people are so underappreciated, man. Artists, athletes who perform once, whenever they get asked to. So I'm talking about mostly like fighters and shit, because they get paid per fight. They don't get paid a salary in the month, depending on the country you live in. Performers, comics, dancers, man. Dude, boy, do I feel bad for dancers. I mean, because dancers are in the show business a bit like musicians, but they also have an expiration day on their body, just like athletes do.
I mean, to
It's
some
so
degree,
fucking tough, man.
I don't want to say musicians do the same way, but they kind of do as well, depending on what you do as a musician. But yeah, I do think that I see what you mean. I don't deny it is fact.
You don't have 60-year-old dancers out there still performing well. You know what I mean? Not a lot of them, I think, at least, or getting paid to do it. It's the dedication that comes with this type of craft, and it's no wonder it's heavily romanticized, because it's so finite, right? A ballerina trips and breaks her ankle at age 31, dude.
Oh, she gone.
Like, yeah, there's a good chance.
She gone.
Imagine that she's not even a high-level ballerina. Imagine that she's a ballerina who teaches little girls, to pay rent, and whenever there's a show, maybe every couple of weeks, she has to play that. So she might perform maybe once a week if she's got a show ready with her troupe, plus the practice she puts in that troupe, and the money is shit, because if people are paying $10, €10, 10 whatever to go to a show, and you fill that with 300 people, that's a €3,000 gate plus drinks that usually go to the person who owns the building. How are you going to share that with 20 people in your team, right?
Yep. Very true.
It's always a better hustle to show up by yourself with a guitar than to show up with a band, right? In terms of how much percentage you get.
Sure.
Because imagine that I go with you to a bar, and I'll just do percussion and back vocals.
Okay.
Sure. And then someone else will do keyboard. The guy is going to pay us the same as if he pays for the act. He doesn't pay for the individual per number of people, right?
Correct. Well,
cuts a check and you guys split it.
Well,
usually.
Sure.
You might have to pay more for a band, obviously, like the price might be more expensive, but overall he's paying for an act.
Overall he's paying for an act, yes.
For this guy.
Correct.
Yeah. The act might be pricier because of gear and everything, but still, is it proportional? Actually, that's a good question I have for you. Is it, if we have,
it's not proportional.
You get paid $100 an hour.
It's not proportional.
Right? Maybe it's like 100 for men with guitar, and then maybe 150 for a 5-people band, right?
Well, the thing is, if you're a singer-songwriter, at the end of the day, like as in your solo act, you're generally, it's like you say, the difference is not as massive that, like, I used to play, when I played in London, and I played in some bars, and usually I would get between 80 to 100 pounds an hour to play, correct? In some venues. The thing is, some venues also have established prices for acts specifically for that venue. So it's not necessarily, it's hard to say because it really depends where you play. It depends on the rules behind the venues. It depends on who you're talking with. It depends if you're playing through promoters. It depends on a lot of things. It's very, very relative. But you get more money if you are less people. That is a general factor within, as far as I know, within gigging live. The less you are, the more you're going to get money because at the end of the day, there's always going to be more money for you. And the disparity between prices is not that massive. At least from what I recall. It's been a while since I've been gigging in London. I don't know how things have switched now. I have no clue.
Also, post-COVID world, right?
Yeah, I've no idea. I mean, I've been pretty much out of commission since before the pandemic started, or right before. So it's hard for me to say. But yeah, and I'm stuck here because I'm not thinking about what I gotta do. So I gotta think about what I gotta do. Gotta think about things. What I gotta do? I don't fucking know what I gotta do. But yeah. Anything else you need questioning, or anything else you need to?
No, that was just the question I had for you.
Ah, shit, dude.
These people are treasures, in my opinion. People who really like do something creative, especially to entertain others, when they have a very, very limited amount of time to do that, is really cool. It's also why I get really upset if
No reason to
I
get
gotta go
upset.
soon. I'm just gonna go close on this, right? Not to get too political, but I hate when certain countries get boycotted from the Olympics
Okay.
because the athletes who've been working it for a whole time,
Yeah, because
for their
but you get
whole
concerned
life,
for the
get
individual.
nothing.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
they have nothing to do with this bullshit, and that's what the Olympics were for at first in the beginning. It's like despite all the differences, like all the Greek city-states in antiquity would stop war so they can go have the Olympics, right?
Right.
And now it's the opposite. It's so heavily politicized, and it fucking sucks, man. The sanctions on Russian athletes, Iranian athletes, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them they get shit on they get shit on abroad because of their flag, and then they get shit on at home by their own government because they're collaborating with the West or international things. But just because they're wrestling and they love wrestling, it's the love of the sport, the love of competition, but the love of the sport itself, you know.
Mm.
That's why I love the term amateur. Amador, it's someone who absolutely loves what they do. They're not doing it for money, especially these guys in the Olympics. Yeah, some of them they get sponsorships, but that's the very, very, very best ones.
Sure.
Most of them have jobs and stuff. So to end on that note, don't bring politics into sports and don't boycott athletes. There's a lot of
Yep.
growth to be done there. It's the future. A lot of good opportunities for people. Yeah.
My man's got a point. God, this is impossible.
Man's got a point. Listen to
Man's
the
got a
man.
point. No, this is impossible. Oh, fuck's sake. Ugh.
I gotta go, man.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna
I've
close this
been
chapter anyway as well because I'm.
overstaying. It's more of a cyber couch hangout. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'll
Dude, this
save
was great.
this.
I'm glad we managed to catch up a little bit here and listen to your stories with
Oh yeah.
the silly little leprechaun who
With the
loves shit on
leprechaun, sure. Yeah, it's been grand. It's been grand. And now we have the black screen of that.
Cool.
All right. All right, everybody.
We might come back soon.
Yeah.
This weekend or next week for sure. We
Hopefully.
got gear and internet back. and schedules. So
Yep, true. So hopefully everything should be ready for us to start coming back. But yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Papu, thank you for joining me today. This is good. And
sure.
let's keep going. Maybe we'll do that Game Pass co-op game that I was telling you about. Think about downloading
Good
it.
idea.
It's only like a 3 gig game. You might as well get it going.
I'll download it too.
Good. And yeah, catch you all very soon. So bye-bye.
Bye.